So it is Transformer Tuesday today. We have a massively huge day today of Transformer product to talk about. This was the live stream that we've been hyping up over the past couple of days, the Hasbro Pulse Transformers live stream of new product. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to do multiple parts because there's just so much to talk about. And we're going to first start with the Studio Series stuff. So here on the Transformer Slag podcast, we'll break it all down for you guys and make sense of things. Talk about the little Easter eggs and things that you may have missed. And the first thing we're going to be covering here is something that we talked about yesterday. We just talked about yesterday how, Mirage, he's this focus of the movie and everything and a key character. And we're just kind of trying to figure out which is the best version to buy of this character. And we talked about how we didn't know much about the Studio Series. We only had that one render of a CG image that was shown from multiple angles, but it wasn't the actual in-hand figure. And here today, the Studio Series figure was in hand, and they have a whole bunch of photos, and it's up for pre-order, and so we got to see how it looked like in person. And even the guys at Hasbro Pulse, Evan, Mark, and BMAC, they admitted, the problem with the Mirage was they were working off very early renders of what the character was supposedly going to look like in the movie. Things changed over a period of time, and thus the final product that they have here today is not 100% a representation of what they would have hoped to put after seeing the movie in theaters. They all went to see the movie in Brooklyn during that big Brooklyn event. So I almost feel like they're trying to say without trying to say it. There is going to be something probably better in the future. It's just this is a product of something that we're not used to with Studio Series. A lot of the other Studio Series stuff we've had up until even the last night is, hindsight. The designs come out, they make the toys based on those designs early on back then, and then Studio Series was a thing that came later on, and then they were able to make stuff better with that extra time and, foresight to make those designs. And that's why we have much better figures today through Studio Series than their initial releases back then. And Mirage, because he's part of our brand new movie and there's a rush to make this product quickly, it's not as good as it could be. It's still pretty good in my opinion, but it does suffer from a lot of other things. I still think it has that chunkiness that is really them not being aware of how that final model is supposed to look based on the animation model, which again, they probably didn't have access to that at the time, or it was something that was a design choice afterwards. So they're just kind of working within the limitations of what they got. The Porsche mode still looks great, still looks fantastic. I will never argue that, but I still feel that perhaps maybe that mainline one still is probably the go-to for a lot of us until probably at some point when we see a movie masterpiece, which I still believe is something that will be coming. But it still looks good. It looks nice. The head sculpt is nicer than I thought it would be. But even Evan admitted, he's like, you know what? We're going to probably try to make sure there's more blue on that head to match the animation model before it gets out to retail. So even them, like what they showed us was not 100% the final product. They're still hoping that some things can be changed. And it does look better than what we saw from those renders, but I still feel it's still worlds away from what we've experienced through Studio Series and this expectation that we have with Studio Series, which is something that's very accurate to the animation models or what appears on the screen. And unfortunately, this is not so much the case with this character, and it hurts even more because he's one of those characters that a lot of us really enjoyed in the movie. So hopefully this will work out, in the long run. But again, Studio Series, SS 105 Deluxe Class, Autobot Mirage, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm probably going to hold out on picking up this one because I just have this gut feeling that something better is going to come around. We're going to probably regret rushing to pay the full MSRP, which MSRP here is $24.99 and up for pre-order right now. The background that is included with this one is the New York Getaway background featured in the movie. So, it still looks cool. If you really like this character, maybe you want to be a completist on all the different versions to compare. That might be the route you might want to go. Again, pre-orders are up right now. Ships out December 2023. I think it looks good, but again, I still think that there's probably something better on the horizon. Now then, Here's one that I feel is the best we could get, definitely from what we've seen, and it's that of the Transformers Rise of the Beast Studio Series SS-106 Leader Class Optimus Primal. This one looks really good. This is something where we've had multiple iterations of this character, and you know, some of them are stemmed in season 1 kind of Beast Wars design. Some of them are stemmed in what they're trying to do with the movie designs. Evan designed this one with Shusan in Takara, and they even admitted that even this one too, much like the Mirage, suffers from it being a early animation model that they had to work with, or an early, you know, reference. But it's not so much the robot mode that was the issue, although there is a coloring issue that he will address. It's more so the accessories. And he mentioned how, while it's really cool, he comes with his 2 axe weapons and everything. That's really awesome. But it also comes with an extra chain accessory that was an early holdover from those early models. And them going like, okay, you know, when we first got these renders, when we first got these early animation models, and even the trailer, that first version of the trailer, he had a chain weapon. He had a chain weapon that was almost kind of reminiscent of a little bit of his mace that he had with the original toy. But that was all stuff that, you know, was left on the cutting room floor and was not the final product ultimately at the end of the day. So he comes with something that isn't reflective of what is in the movie. And then he also mentioned that even the colors of the toy itself do not reflect how it is in the movie. And they actually are able to change that. And he says what we're looking at right now is much lighter. The final version will be much more darker to match that of the animation model and the screen appearance. So they're going to make an effort with that. So it's really just the accessories that are kind of from an early design kind of perspective. Speaking of accessories, it also comes with an extra axe accessory, but it's not something for Optimus Primal. They've discovered that there's actually a little bit extra budget on this one, and there was extra space on the tooling in the factory. So they were able to actually include as an extra accessory Optimus Prime's axe from the movie. And so if you pick up this Optimus Primal, you also get Optimus Prime's axe for the Voyager scale Rise of the Beast figure. So it's a nice little bonus too. But it's a really good looking figure. There's a lot of, you know, articulation, like the 8 modes mouth opens and closes. There's articulated fingers. There's butterfly joints, so it could do the gorilla beating of the chest and stuff. It's a really nice looking figure. I think it looks fantastic. And part of me really hopes that, you know, maybe they might even take this if they want to get some more mileage out of this leader class. Maybe we could get an Ape Links out of it. Get some really cool stuff out of that too. And then the axe accessory, if it's included, then okay, Ape Links will have some axes or something. You know, it'll be kind of like the mace accessories that he had, the wheeling mace accessories that he had with the original Bakhan toy. So, you know, I could see there could be some fun done with this in a lot of ways. It would be really cool. So this one here, leader class, so it's going to be $54.99. Also ships out December 2023 at the end of the year. Comes with the Peruvian Jungle Discovery background. I believe that one was used also with the Air Razor. Don't quote me on that one, but I know that one's been used in the past. But of course, it's a leader class, so it'll be a larger version of that background to have for display. But I still think it's probably the best looking version of all the primals we've gotten thus far, and that includes the ultimate one and everything. Much more affordable also. And definitely until we get a masterpiece, which I'm pretty sure we'll get one at some point, but as it stands right now, definitely the best version of this character, and I'm super stoked about it. This one I am quite interested in picking up. Maybe it's my Beast Wars bias, but love it. Looks really good. And the last thing we're going to cover, at least, it's not really Studio Series, but it's also part of this first package here of stuff that we want to talk about. They also have a Pulse exclusive today for this live stream, and they wanted to reveal it to us and have that also go up for pre-order. And it's a Transformers Legacy Evolution Optimus Prime and Bumblebee Core Class 2-pack. It's a nice little fun little 2-pack, taking advantage of 2 previous molds that have existed in the Core Class and add a little something extra. It almost feels like a 40th anniversary item or an early 40th anniversary item in a lot of ways, but it's just a nice little Pulse exclusive. Essentially what it is they took that buzzworthy Bumblebee Target exclusive Core Class Bumblebee, that very first one we got when buzzworthy Bumblebee first kind of launched. It takes away the Spike figure, which I found interesting that they left that out. That would have been a nice extra addition to include that too. But it takes out the Spike figure. It just has the Bumblebee figure itself. It looks more or less like the original, except now a lot of the black plastics are now kind of a lighter gray, and that includes also the gun. So it's more or less the same figure, just kind of a different shade in some areas of the. Otherwise, it's not much I could really point out. The Optimus is the Kingdom core class, again with the different shades of colors here and there, but nothing too major to really bring up. The one thing that I do appreciate is the original Kingdom Optimus Prime figure came with just his ion blaster. And when I talked with Evan during one of the live streams, I asked him like, hey, did the Optimus also come with the Energon axe? Because when you guys did the Nemesis repaint, it had an Energon axe. And usually when you have that train of thought of tooling, it means that they were both on the tool and usually decide one or another to make it. So that means that Energon axe was on the Optimus tooling. So now you get everything. You get the Ion Blaster, you get the Energon axe, you get the complete Optimus experience. And then on top of all of that, you also get now, this is the new part of it, this new tooling, you get a roller trailer Optimus Prime with battle station, with roller accessory, probably the smallest roller, trailer Optimus system since the world's smallest version in a lot of ways. And that's really cool. I really think there's a lot of articulation, a lot of moving pieces, beautiful paint. Roller could even pull Optimus Prime's trailer. It opens up, it makes the battle station, makes the medical repair bay mode, which is a Diaclone kind of nod. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. So the way I look at it, this thing is $39.99. It's $40. It's on at Hasbro Pulse right now. And it was done by Otoku-san. And this is the guy who works with Masterpiece stuff. So he was kind of like making a mini Masterpiece in a lot of ways. So that's pretty cool. And at $39.99, it pretty much means like, core classes in retail right now are $12. So you get 2 core classes. That's $24 right there. You're paying an extra $16 for a brand new tooling of a trailer with the inner stuff and the extra weapons and the roller. So it makes sense, the pricing. I dig it. I think it looks really cool. It's a nice, cool little set. And one of the guys who worked on Masterpieces kind of put this together. So it's a nice, fun little, desktop Transformer mini Masterpiece kind of set. I'm not feeling, the Bumblebee, I feel like there could have been something else that could have been done with it. I feel that, they've done nothing with that mold up to this point. I was kind of expecting at some point they're going to put a bumper head on it and give it maybe an orangey kind of color scheme. And we're going to get our first official bumper figure proper in that design. Doing something that's more true to the original G1 design instead of just like, throwing his name on it and being something else. But at the end of the day, I still think it's cool. And it's a nice little fun little product for $40 in all honesty. And that's it more or less for these of the Studio Series and this special one too. Again, this one also, again, $39.99 and will be shipping out shortly on Hasbro Pulse. Let me know what you think about these guys. Pretty hype. We still have a lot more to cover today. We have all of the Legacy Evolution reveals, a whole bunch of cool stuff to break down and talk about what's happening on a design standpoint. Everything, the buzzworthy exclusives. We got our final Gen Select item. Tons of cool stuff to talk about. That's going to be our next segment later today, so be sure to stay tuned here on the Transformer Slag podcast, and we'll talk to you very, very soon.